Hi. In this video, we are trying to understand the difference between a traditional exchange and a crypto exchange. And we are going to be focused on derivatives at both these exchanges. For a traditional exchange, let's take NSE, which is the National Stock Exchange, as our example. There are four broad buckets in which we are going to differentiate. Starting with the first one, access. If you want to trade on NSE, you cannot actually place a order directly to the exchange. Exchange doesn't interact with retail investors. What this means is you need to place your order through a broker at the exchange. So what is a broker? A broker is an intermediary who is a member of the exchange. So exchange has given them the right and privilege to place orders on behalf of their clients. So if you want to buy, say, a future of Nifty or a future of HDFC Bank, you need to go through a broker. A broker can be anyone. It could be some popular brokers, Zerodha, IIFL, or if you are looking at banks, all these ICICI, HDFC Bank, all these also have brokerages, and you can go through them to set up your demat account and place orders or through them of what you want to buy and sell. So this is regarding access. If you look at the cryptocurrency exchanges, there are no brokers involved. Cryptocurrency exchanges, in the simplest sense, are simple websites where buyers and sellers can come together and place an order on that website, and they get connected, and their order gets matched electronically. No middlemen or intermediaries involved. Hence, it is efficient, because if you look at NSE or any other exchange for this matter, the brokers, who are the intermediaries, will charge you a commission to place your order on the exchange. Obviously that's their business, right? Otherwise why would they give you this service? However, in cryptocurrencies you don't have any intermediaries. That's the first part. Second part, the cost of trading. If you are buying one Nifty future, or in fact any future of a stock, you have to pay certain taxes, commissions which go to the exchange. Certain taxes on those commissions go to the government. GST is charged on your purchase of shares. So all these costs sum up. So if you are, say, buying 1 crore worth of derivatives, the stock futures, you have to pay approximately 740 rupees to get that transaction done. That is your cost of trading. This money will go to exchange, government, other stakeholders also. Now, looking at cryptocurrency exchanges, obviously it's very different over here. Your costs could range from negative 2500 per crore to positive 7500 per crore. Now what does negative 2500 per crore mean? It's very interesting. Basically, certain cryptocurrency exchanges are paying you money to trade on their exchange. And how would they do that, and why would they do that? So they have bifurcated orders into limit orders and market orders. Limit orders are orders that are placed in an order book and do not get immediately executed. Market orders are orders which, when placed by the trader, they get immediate execution. Now why? So for limit orders, exchanges give incentive to the traders, and they are actually paying out cash for you to place a limit order that gets executed. For the market order, they are charging much more heavily than, say, NSE. And why so? Because if you see, these exchanges are trying to build order books. They are trying to put as many limit orders possible on their buy side as well as on the sell side, because it enhances liquidity. What that means is, see, an exchange is only successful and it's a thriving marketplace if there are a lot of willing buyers at any time at different prices. Similarly, there are a lot of willing sellers at different prices. If you have that in abundance, the exchange is doing well, and people who can come and place their market orders on them and pay a price for getting it immediately executed. I'll get deeper into market and limit orders in another video, but understand that crypto exchanges can be very generous with trading costs. In fact, rather than costs, they will be paying you. These are called rebates, and you may be earning for trading on their exchange instead of paying. Moving on to the third point, very simple, working hours. NSE or rather any stock exchange has limited working hours. Usually they trade only on weekends. Crypto exchanges are 24/7. So if you are a trader, you would love to have access to the market 24/7. That's a good thing, I would say. And lastly, regulation. If you want to open an account, demat account on NSE, the government wants to protect retail people's money. there's SEBI, which will be after you, so you have to fill in a lot of forms. All the brokers have to do a lot of paperwork. The government needs to make sure you're not bringing in any black money in this system, so there are a lot of checks and balances. Crypto exchanges, it's very simple. It's as simple as signing up for an email at most places. So this is the difference between NSE, which is an Indian stock exchange, and crypto exchange. I'll say certain examples of crypto exchange. Good examples are BitMEX and Deribit. So go check out bitmex.com and similarly deribit.com. These are two of the largest cryptocurrency derivative exchanges today. Thank you.